What is going on, guys? Hunter Medusa here, bringing you guys a brand new video. Today we are going to be going over some of the changes that are going to be appearing in patch 10.19 for League of Legends. Yes, Worlds is still far away, but this is going to be the patch that they're playing on because they want to be able to give all of the teams a chance to master these champions and kind of learn how to play around the nerfs or buffs that these champions did get. And it gives everybody a fair chance to kind of understand the current state of the game. So with that being said, let's jump into the question of the video. And that is going to be, who were you expecting to see up here? And who do you think needs a little extra help, whether that be a nerf or a buff? Who's overpowered or who's very underpowered that you want to see make a return to Worlds? So let's jump right into it. So first off, we have Irelia. Now, Irelia is going to be getting a little bit of a buff. Now, this is going to be to her R, and the barrage damage is going to be up by 50 at rank 5. And the perimeter damage is going to be up by 100 at rank 5. Now, this is going to be huge for Irelia, and we probably are going to see quite a bit of her at Worlds because she is such a great duelist, and she is a champion that really excels in doing 1v1s, maybe split pushing, or really controlling a fight with her ultimate, having the disarm included in it. And let's move on to Aphelios. Now, Aphelios is just getting a small little buff, and his AD per level is going to be up by 0.4. Now that doesn't seem like a lot, but Aphelios does have a weird kit and he does have weird stats, and so, you know, I don't think that's going to be too crazy. They're just trying to give him a little nudge so that he sees a little more play. Let's move into Vayne. Now her AD is going to be upped by 10. Now that's going to be the AD that she gains from using her R, so that's going to be pretty crazy because at early levels 10 AD can be quite a bit. I don't think that we're still going to see Vayne in Worlds because she isn't the greatest team fighting champion. She does have a lot of abilities that she brings to the table when it comes to going for picks or even dueling, but she just doesn't offer as much to the table as a lot of other AD carries do. But who knows? I could be completely wrong, but I could be completely right. We'll just have to see. Now, Sivir, her passive movement speed is going to be upped by 5, so that is going to kind of help her out in the same way that it's going to help out Aphelios, but I don't see this being too crazy. However, Sivir is already a popular pick no matter what state of the game she's in at the time because everything that she brings to the table is really good for pro play, with her spell shield, with her W and her Q having insane wave clear and poke damage, and with her ultimate being able to speed everybody up. It is a strong pick in any sense of team fighting. I don't think that this is going to put Sivir quite up there in solo queue, but I do think that we're going to see a lot of her at Worlds. Let's look at Lucian. Now, his AD per level is down by about 0.5. I think it was actually 0.45 to be exact. That's not going to be too crazy. I mean, if you think that there's 18 levels, so it's going to be 0.45 every level, it is going to add up to quite a bit of AD, but Lucian in the early game is what makes him so strong, because at the later game he does start to fall off because he isn't able to engage in the fights that he normally would pick that make him as strong as he is. Let's look at Senna. This is going to be interesting because with her passive, the Wraiths that spawn, they've actually halved the chance that the Wraith will spawn. So this is going to be interesting because we do see a lot of Senna at the moment, and that is because she does gain so much damage to those Wraiths right now. And with that chance dropping, it's going to be harder for her to really hit the power spikes and to really bring to the table what she does because she's just not going to be as strong. And so some might say that this isn't too big of a nerf. You know, I'm going to disagree with that. I'm going to say this is a huge nerf, and I don't think that we're going to see her a lot in current solo queue play, but she is kind of the same as Sivir, as she does bring quite a bit to the table for a team play aspect. So who knows, maybe we'll start to see her a lot at Worlds as well. Let's move into Caitlyn. Now, her base AD is brought down by 2. Not a whole lot, but it is going to be noticeable to those that maybe play Cait every single day. And her W, which is her traps, the headshot damage has been brought down by 20 at level 1. It does end up being the same damage that it would normally have at level 5, but just at level 1, it is brought down by 2. So that is going to be quite noticeable as well. Now, Sylas's R. The cooldown has actually been brought down by 20 at level 3, so that's going to be quite a big chunk of time that he's going to be able to use his ult again, and I worded that very weird. Let me try again. Having 20 less seconds on your ultimate at level 3 is going to be pretty huge, because it's going to allow you to have more engage or have more kill potential. You know, whatever team that Sylas is playing into is going to kind of offer up more chances for him to really pop off. So that's going to be interesting to see. And Sylas currently is already busted enough as it is, and now that he has his ult cooldown reduced, he's going to be even more busted. But you know, what can you do? Now, Ahri's W, the cooldown has been reduced by 1 second, and the mana cost down by 15. The mana cost is going to be huge, and it's going to be great because you're going to be able to actually use this ability a lot more often, obviously. And the cooldown being reduced by 1 second is not that crazy, but it can be very noticeable at early stages of the game. Now, moving into Akali, her Q damage has been reduced by 5. So Akali has been nerfed into the dirt already, so there's no reason to really look at this. I don't know why they're nerfing her. I don't think she's as overpowered as people say she is. It's just Akali is really hard to play into, which can make it easy for players that do play Akali often to get fed, which is probably why people think that she's busted. But having her damage down by 5 isn't going to be too bad, but we're just going to have to kind of see how that treats her with this patch coming up. TF, his base movement speed has been brought down by 5 points. Nothing too crazy. That's just a little something for him. Azir, for his W, the attack speed has been brought down by 10%. Again, nothing too crazy, but that 10% is going to be very noticeable at early stages of the game, which is going to make Azir a little harder to play in the beginning, which he's not going to be able to be as oppressive as he normally would be, but he's still a strong pick, and if you know how to play Azir properly, then it'll suit you well. Now let's talk about Udyr. Now Udyr's Phoenix stance. Now it has been upped by 50 damage and 10% AP on his cone. So for those of you that maybe don't play Udyr, every third attack he spits out kind of a cone of fire, which can really do a lot of damage. The Phoenix stance used to be what everybody ran, but within the last couple years, the Tiger stance has really become what everybody runs for. But having this damage kind of upped for his Phoenix stance, I do think that you're going to start to see a little bit more of Phoenix stance Udyr. Now, these are going to be all of the changes that are going to be implemented in patch 10.19 next week. Now, always keep in mind that some of these could not make it to live servers, but we're just going to have to kind of wait and see. And now we have a list to go off of to see what does make it, what doesn't, and maybe they'll sneak something else in. We've also got some skins and a champion coming, but I'll cover those in another video. So if you guys did enjoy the video, be sure to leave a like and a comment down below. Don't forget to answer the question of the video that I left at the beginning. And if you guys would as well, subscribe. It really helps me out and lets me know that you guys do enjoy the videos that I make and the content that I create. Now, with all of that being said, thank you so much. Have a wonderful day, and thank you for joining the Stone Army.